Don't know how, I don't know when, but somehow I lost you. What to give, what to do? Tell me I'll be there in a heartbeat. Under wild blues.
Yes, I know it's a very complicated situation, so I'll explain the best I can. And welcome to all of our new followers, and thank you so much for following our story and the support. It means a lot to both of us. Anyway, back on May 15th, 2020, my wife had a stroke in front of my son and I. She was on the couch. She looked like Emily Rose. She was contorted, so there was something obviously way wrong. Called 911. The ambulance came. They picked her up, brought her to the hospital. They gave her that clot-busting agent called TPA. Not sure if I got that right. Somebody below will probably correct me. Anyway, that didn't work. They rushed her to another hospital where they could do a surgery where they go up an artery in your leg all the way into your brain, and they unclotted it and took it out. It was on the right side of her brain, so she lost all mobility on her left side. Sight, she couldn't, her vocal cords, she couldn't swallow. It was rough.
Tell me, talk to me.
Anyway, 2 days later, I noticed something way off with her, and I was like, "Doctor, there's something off with her." And unfortunately, she had a second massive stroke, and this one pretty much took out a good chunk of the right side of her brain, so losing all mobility in her left side. So, and the stroke was so massive that the brain was swelling and was pushing against her skull, and they had to do the craniotomy to relieve the pressure, let the brain swell out, and then over time it sinks back down, therefore making that caved in appearance on her head, which was tough. Thankfully, that's all behind us now. But why was a 36-year-old young, healthy individual getting strokes? They thought it was COVID at first, but every test kept coming back negative, but there was a lot of false negatives going on, so everyone was confused. But she complained one day about her abdomen hurting, and they did a CAT scan, and they found a mass 10 centimeters. We couldn't go in and operate and take it out because we were battling an infection that was going on from the incision, and so they couldn't operate or take it out, so we had to wait. Finally, she went down to Lenox Hill in the city. She got a full hysterectomy. We asked, save what you can, because we were planning to have another child, but it turns out it's spread everywhere down there. So, but luckily, we believe or think that it's just down there and didn't spread anywhere, which is good. Anyway, full hysterectomy, took it out, and it was ovarian cancer. That was clear cell carcinoma is what it's called, and it's a rare cancer, and it clots your blood. The lead up to this, there were no signs. She had a really heavy period, which was not normal. We should have went in, but COVID stopped us from going in, and just fatigued. But she's a young mom, so she was always tired. I hope that explained it. Yes, if I remember correctly, the day of the surgery, we were more focused on, whether the mass that was inside there was cancer or not. So right before she went in, I remember the doctor asking, if we're able to salvage anything, would you like us to save? And we said yes, because we were planning to have a second one. And unfortunately, it looks like it just spread everywhere. So, the doctor at the time thought it's best to just do the full hysterectomy. And, we were on board with whatever needed to be done to kind of give her the best shot, at a good, healthy life. So otherwise, that would have been great to save an egg, or do something, as we did plan for a second one. But didn't turn out that way. We didn't know until it was too late. So she had a stroke and rushed to the hospital. And then about a week later is when we found out it was due to the type of ovarian cancer she had. So it was too late for us to find out. She had some signs like fatigue. I know her period was very heavy to the lead up to the stroke. But from all the research we've done, ovarian cancer is a tricky one because they don't show up on the Pap test, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to say any misinformation, but there's not a lot of tests to determine. But, talk to your doctor if something's off. You know your body, better than anyone. That's what my wife keeps saying. Kanlaya always says that. You know your body, so go get it checked out. Better to be safe than sorry. She had a stroke because of the type of ovarian cancer that she had. It was a rare type of cancer that's just known to clot the blood. So when you have a stroke and they're able to unclot it, I believe things eventually over time do return. Unfortunately, in Kanlaya's situation, she had a stroke. They were able to unclot it, but then 2 days later, she had another massive stroke that took out a big chunk channel in the right side of her brain. Right side of your brain controls a lot of the mobility on your left side. So a lot of the stuff on her left is shot, including some cognitive things that I will touch upon in a little bit. But for now, so that's permanently damaged. That brain turns into scar tissue. With that said, over time, the brain is a pretty amazing thing, and it can develop new connections and pathways to regain some of the things that were lost. So her leg has gotten a lot stronger. She's able to walk around unassisted, which is great. Her arm, we're still working on that. I mean, it's getting stronger, but it's not. It's just it's progressing really slow. I mean, with all that said, Kanlaya has done an absolutely amazing job. She definitely has blown away expectations with her doctors and team. They're so happy with her progress, and we all are. We're just so happy. She's done amazing, and you could tell that she's just been fighting every step of the way. Cognitively, this is where I struggle a lot. She used to do everything with Ty, bring him to the library, just activities all day long, teaching him Thai. Just they were inseparable. And now, because of the stroke, there are things that are lacking, such as empathy, a couple of motherly instinct things that are lacking, but they will shine some days. They'll come out, but then they get suppressed again, and each day is hit or miss. But with all that said, we're working on it, and we're hopeful. We're not giving up. And, there's new technology, new medicines coming out. Elon Musk, if you want a candidate for that Neuralink project, I think my wife would be a great candidate for that. So with that said, just, continue to watch us. We're going to just keep doing what we can and, never give up. Some people were asking what she's using for her arm. So with the stroke, she had no mobility in her left side. So what she has is called a sublux, which means her shoulder, this part right here, it's popping out of its socket. So, we do shoulder shrugs. Oh, want to say hi, Ty? Hi, Ty. Hi. She does shrugs like this to try to get it back in its socket. This is just what we found on Amazon to work best, and I believe her rehab team recommended as well. It's called the Give More Sling. It's on Amazon.
We tried a couple of them, but this one worked best.
We tried a lot, but if you guys recommend anything else, we're open to it, but this is what we found works best. So anyway, Give More Sling on Amazon. The sizes are a little tricky. I would get a little higher than what you think. That's what we think. Anyway, hope that helps. Yes, I know it's very confusing, but the short story is she had a stroke. She went to the hospital. They were able to unclot it. She had a second stroke while in the hospital, and they weren't able to do anything about it. The reason for the strokes was the type of ovarian cancer she had. It's a rare cancer that was making the blood clot, and that's kind of the gist of what happened. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but that's it summed up. Hopefully I answer this correctly, but hers is a little tricky because she had to do chemotherapy for the cancer. So when the head sunk, we had to wait like 8 months, 9 months for her to, finish the chemo and then make sure the chemo is out of her system. And then they could do the head surgery where they put the skull piece back on. But I believe normally, it could be wrong, but if it was just the strokes we were dealing with, I think 2 months or 3 months, the head sinks, and then once the swelling goes down, they could put the headpiece back on. But we had to do chemo, so her story was a little, or her situation was a little different than most when it comes to the head surgery thing.